A music historian considered around the world as one of the foremost authorities on Spanish music of the Baroque period, with a special distinction towards reed-based instruments of the Rococo era. We are always thrilled when Mr. Bruce is back on Canadian soil because it means the possibility of a visit to our studio. And today, that possibility is a reality. Herbert, welcome back to This Is That.
Well, thank you very much for having me back in the studios. It's always such a pleasure to return to Radio 1.
Now, I think our last visit took place well over 2 years ago.
I think it was, yes.
In Toronto.
Yes, I think I was here with the Tamoric drum, am I right?
Yes, you were, that's
yes,
right.
The Tamoric drum.
Now, where have you been? What have you been up to? Why haven't we seen your face for 2 years?
Well, I've actually been in a small country in the Far East called Maraxnistan, which is a small, very sand-based...
What are you doing there?
I was there studying an instrument that was found called the nishtar.
The nishtar.
Yes, it's like a rosewood made guitar, but with no strings and just a mouthpiece.
Now, you've brought another instrument with you here today, and I wish everyone could see at home the stature of this, and I personally can say that I have never seen something like this. What am I looking at?
Yes, you probably haven't seen it, of course, because this is a tenor sarangi bowed dorma.
Okay, a tenor sarangi bowed dorma. So this is not just a dorma, this is a bowed dorma. What is the difference?
Correct. Well, of course, a bowed dorma has a bow.
Now, would this be considered a wind instrument? Because it seems to me that there's a few. I mean, I see strings, and obviously I see a reed, and and also elements of perhaps percussion. I'd assume.
Good Sherlock, you've done your spying. Yes. Let me describe here, if you're at home, what we're dealing with. This is, it's adorned in whalebone around the fretted staff. The body is mostly a yak's bladder.
Now, this would be similar to a bagpipe, I suppose, as far as you're getting the air in.
The bladder is similar to a bagpipe, but then, of course, the bell-shaped opening here that you see is rimmed in oyster shell. So it's quite... To make this nowadays would be completely unethical because, of course, you'd have to kill about 6 animals.
I know that we would love to hear it today, and it looks like it's quite an effort to get into it, so yes. I'll give you a moment. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to CBC Radio 1. The program is This Is That, and we're talking to Herbert Bruce, one of the country's foremost music historians, and he's brought an instrument that he has found, which is over 300 years old. It's called the tenor sarangi bowed dorma, and we are going to hear it now.
I need my back pillow.
Herbert, are you ready to play?
I'm going to have to fill the bladder, so let me just see if I can.
This is Herbert Bruce playing the tenor sarangi bowed dorma. Isn't that remarkable?
That's the dorma.
You would not expect that sound to come from that instrument.
No.
And it seems like it requires a fair bit of energy on your part. It's quite laborious, isn't it?
I always find it amazing that these were originally played by children. Because, of course, it's close to 200 pounds.
Well, Herbert, I want to thank you for being here with us today. Again, it's always a pleasure, and what a wonderful treat it is to hear a new instrument.
Thank you very much for having me, and of course, if music is the food of love, then drink on.